What am I doing? Are you guys feeling cool yet? No, I'm just kidding. Words like titanium are gonna come up.
Titanium.
Is it because of titanium?
Titanium condenser.
Repeat the titanium part.
May I have titanium?
That's a lot of titanium. American owned, American build.
Since 1941.
That's kind of unheard of. Yep. I know that word because Alexi uses it all the time. What did he tell you about me? I want to know. Yeah. Hey guys, today we're going to talk cool air, shall I say. You guys know that our boat is going to live in the Caribbean to begin with, so air conditioning is more than important. So today we're at Aqua Air, a place where we're getting our air conditioning units and I don't know, a whole bunch of weird name equipment. I don't even know what it is. Rico does. That was his department. All I know is our boat's going to be cool.
It's going to be very cool.
Very cool.
We specialize in cool here at Aqua Air Frigibar.
I heard.
Yeah.
We're with Sean. I don't know what your title is.
I don't really have a title. I'm kind of a jack of all trades around here.
You don't believe in titles?
Don't believe in titles. Aqua Air, we're all equal.
What does your business card say?
So Sean.
I love that.
No,
it's amazing.
We try to keep it casual.
But all jokes aside, you are the owner of Aqua Air.
Yes, sir. Aqua Air Frigibar.
So Aqua Air has been around for a long time.
Yes, ma'am. Since 1941. Very long time.
That's like the beginning of Second World War.
Yes, ma'am.
Founded by you?
It was founded. Nope. It's actually founded by JD Null. Dwayne's, who you'll meet, who's our engineer here. It was founded by his grandfather, JD,
and
then his dad is JD also.
So he's still part of the company?
He's still part of the company.
I love that. That's really
Very
fantastic. Cool. So you guys have a lot of experience behind you, and you've also told us that some of the most predominant super yacht builders like
Fedship and Lursen,
for longest time have had
Westport. We've done all the major boat builders. Berger.
Feel very
Brower,
special right now.
Yeah.
Like we join
good company.
We're in good company.
Being in good
we're
company.
in good company.
What are the smallest vessels you guys are supplying?
We do center consoles. We do the
small,
the Valhalla.
So not just super yachts.
You don't discriminate.
Okay.
You do them all.
Do them
Love
all.
it. American owned, American build. Some of the prettiest air conditioning units I've ever seen, like really nice and shiny. Words like titanium are gonna come up, and there's a whole bunch of other interesting features, unique things you guys are doing that we have yet to come across in this air conditioned search that we've been doing for our build. Okay, Sean, what's Frigibar?
So Frigibar is our refrigeration line. It's been around since 1971. It's founded by Sheldon Lutsky. He was the first guy ever to really build fiberglass coolers like you'll see in front of us.
Oh, he was the revolutionary person to start this.
Yes, ma'am. So he was the first
he said
guy.
Yes, sir.
I know.
I like that.
Yeah,
well, it's because he told me.
It's your authority.
Yeah, exactly. You got me scared now. You got me ducking and moving. And,
what did he tell you about me? I want to know.
Yeah.
Just keep saying yes, sir to me. Fine.
We do fiberglass refrigeration. We do marine ice machines. We do stainless steel plates, stainless steel liners. We manufacture them all here in the United States, right here in Fort Lauderdale.
Sean's going to give us a full tour of the facility, everything you can show us, and also talk about our build, what we all decided on. That was Rico's department. I know very little about it.
I didn't decide anything. I just trusted Sean. How many BTUs do we have? Do you know?
Do you know anything about air conditioning?
No.
Why did I put you in charge?
I know how to turn it up and turn it down. And
actually, you have 142,000.
Wow.
142,000.
That sounds like a lot.
144,000.
Is it a lot for a 75-foot yacht?
That's a question for Dwayne.
Perfect.
Right,
Who's Dwayne?
Who's Dwayne?
Dwayne is our engineer.
Let's meet Dwayne.
You want to meet him quick?
Yes. Are you ready for your close-up? Are you eating? What are you eating? You eating pistachios?
I'm eating
Pistachios, yeah.
That's about as ready as I can be.
Hi, Dwayne.
Supposed to have a good amount of protein in pistachios, just FYI, in case anybody's wondering.
So
that's how they keep me in here.
So we're trying to figure out how many BTUs we have on our boat.
Well, the two chillers are 72,000 BTUs each, so that's 144,000
Plus the self-contained.
plus the self-contained. Yeah.
Since we're hole number one, are we considered custom project?
In our mind, all boats are custom. At least that's the way we treat them. We spend a great deal of time, as well. Dwayne spends a great deal of time engineering and designing the systems to meet the individual needs of the customer or the boat or the boat builder.
So it's quite normal for you guys when you get a layout of the boat that you are literally going through and designing the system to that boat to be like the best possible option?
That's pretty much our standard procedure at Aqua Air.
Is that something that everyone does?
Not really. I mean, we're pretty hands-on.
Okay.
And
yeah.
we treat everything like it's our own project.
So in terms of factors, would you say like you were interested in, for example, what is the final color of the boat? Would that be a factor, for example, in terms
Yes.
of air condition capacity you need?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
a dark boat, a dark hull is going to add a lot of extra heat load to the
Don't
boat.
tell anybody what color boat is, because that's a big
No.
secret nobody knows about yet. It's going to be a big reveal.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But yes, it's all taken into consideration.
And then in terms
And
of
the area the boat's going to be operated in and stationed in, where it's
True.
the Mediterranean, it's a cold climate. If it's based out of Alaska or somewhere up north, it's going to need more heating and less cooling, all different parameters.
and I'm pretty sure insulation values are playing a big factor as well. I mean,
Correct.
some production boats probably have a little bit less insulation than some of the super yachts.
Put in the comments what you guys think would be the difference between exact identical boat having a dark hull or a white hull. What do you think the difference is in the what?
Capacity needed.
Thank you. Yeah, put in the comments, and then Dwayne is going to tell us. Same
But
boat.
assuming that it's the same.
How much does the color
15,
play the factor?
15%.
Wow,
That much?
15%.
It's actually a lot.
So if it's a dark boat, it will end up 15. It needs 15 more percent of.
50% more.
Well, there will be
15% more
15%
capability.
more load, yes.
That's a
It's
lot.
a big difference.
Something to consider being in such hot climate.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
As well as windows and everything else. The bigger the windows, you
Of
get dark
course.
windows, and it's just like,
Yeah.
pretty much heating elements on the side of the boat.
Overhangs and all that kind of negative windows, all that kind of stuff plays in the factors. Pull up some of the
Yeah.
stuff what we have.
Can we?
So that's chiller.
Yes, this is a 6-ton alpha chiller, reverse cycle. It's going to be connected up to a variable frequency drive to modulate the capacity of the chiller based upon what your actual requirements are for that point.
Frequency driven means it doesn't use a full amount of peak power when it turns on.
That is correct.
So it
The
turns on
great thing about a
slowly.
variable frequency drive is it starts one of these compressors up with no startup load.
Okay.
There's no surge like you would normally see with across the line starting.
Which comes in pretty handy now with lots of vessels switching over to inverted systems, battery power for the nighttime, maybe not running a
Oh, it's
generator.
absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Those systems will not take an electrical shock like this would bring, if it was just starting, on
Yeah.
a contactor.
I like
So-
that you guys are talking about it like this is all such a given knowledge. There's so many people watch our channel that are super techy and know all about it, and there's so many people like us that know nothing about
What do you
this.
mean us?
I mean,
should
me,
say us.
me.
Yeah,
I mean me.
Why
Well,
should
you
put
just
me in
admitted you didn't know much about air conditioning to me, so
Oh, I know a little bit, I think.
thanks for enlightening us.
So we have 2 of these.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So do you have like these fancy schematics and stuff that you have to make for our build?
Sure.
Oh,
This is the piping schematic, and it shows you all the different.
So red, warm water, blue, cold water. And then the numbers are the air handlers.
Yes, sir. And we have a chart over
Every time he
here.
says, sir, I'm looking behind me. And I was like, is there someone old standing behind me? I was like,
Blame my dad. He beat that into me.
so question, do both chillers servicing the same
Everything.
system?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you keep everything all in the same loop. That way, which you would, of course, never have a failure of one of the chillers.
Yeah.
You can still have 50% capacity. You can turn all the upper deck fan coils on, turn
Yeah.
the lower deck off, and still operate, or vice versa.
And then have just the cold air just trickle down a little bit if you had to. And then at nighttime, it's probably enough potentially which region in the world you're in to just have one running, right? You don't
Yes,
need to
sir.
run
Well,
both.
it
of them.
will automatically sense the load and how much load's coming online,
Yeah.
and they will adjust accordingly. So if just 6 tons needed,
Mm-hmm.
it will adjust for 6 tons. And then with the variable speed, we're able to, if only 3 tons is needed,
Yep.
we could slow the second chiller down instead of 6 tons down to 3 tons.
Is there some kind of function where you can do like an energy saving mode where it just automatically already supervising, saying like, hey, 3 tons, that's it. Don't do
It
more.
automatically does that.
Well, if you wanted something where you manually limit it,
That's
yes.
what I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Like for
could-
example, at nighttime, you're saying like, look, I don't care if somebody wants it at 65 degrees. We're only doing 3 tons because we want to conserve energy to get through the night quiet or something like that. That would be a possibility.
Yeah, that's just all part of the control package. And
what are you, an air conditioning Nazi or what?
Nothing for you.
No, but I'm just thinking, like, if we're going to have a massive lithium-ion house bank and we're going to invert the entire boat, so in order to run air condition through the night, if we can bring it down to one chiller and maybe that one even to like some kind of eco mode, we would probably be absolutely fine running 10 hours without the generator.
Especially if we don't have a full house on board.
If we don't have a full house, exactly.
Yeah, and that's very easy to do with the frequency drive.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What do we have equipment-wise on our boat?
2 6-ton units
Okay. What else?
and air handlers.
How many?
Lots of them.
How many of these do we have? Technically, we have
Fan
six
coils?
Oh,
six
Hang on.
staterooms.
Tell you right
We added air condition in the engine room.
You got,
Well,
got
but
That's a big
you've
thing.
got 15 different fan coils.
15.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we have some
Then you
self-contained
have some
units too.
self-contained units on top of that, yes, sir.
So we have a lot of fan coils. Yeah,
and you also have a fresh air makeup unit on there as well.
that's right.
Which is, people don't realize that they take up a lot of energy as well, because we're taking 90-degree outside air temperature, dehumidifying it and chilling it before we send it to the lowest levels on the boat to, put fresh air. And the fresh air change rate on these units is what, 4 times an hour, Dwayne?
Well, it depends upon the load in the area. I mean, the amount of fresh air that we're bringing on here is very minimal.
Wait, you guys, hold on. So I think a lot of the people actually don't know
I didn't know that before.
what that is, and
Okay.
that for our size of the boat, it's not really
It's not that
typical
common,
to
I
have.
think.
No, not at all.
So, not at all, you said?
No,
Oh,
75 footers?
No, and the 200 CFM that you have on here is a very small amount. You're not going to be able to pipe that around to all the different fan coils. You're going to have to pick and choose, like master stateroom, guest stateroom, and that's about it. Usually fresh air makeup wise, you're going to have about 40 CFM per cabin.
What's a
20
CFM?
Cubic feet per minute.
Got it.
But can you guys back up to what that thing is and why we need
So
it?
fresh air makeup's basically a unit that takes outside air and refrigerates it, dehumidifies it, and then pumps it into the interior of the boat. What does a few things for you. It gets clean, fresh air to circulate throughout the boat to eliminate the musty smell and all that. It's refrigerated and dehumidified, so you don't have extra humidity load inside the boat.
Yep.
And then it also pressurizes the cabin a little bit. So when a door opens or a door's cracked a little bit, all that outside air is not sucking diesel smoke or salt spray, isn't
point.
sucking into the boat. It pushes it out of the boat.
Yeah.
So weak door seal or something, instead of air drawing, getting drawn into the boat, it typically pushes it out.
A little bit of a positive pressure on the
Positive pressure
inside.
in the
Yeah.
boat, which helps out. If the engine's not totally sealed, or if it smells down there or whatever, you're pressurizing the inside the boat to press all that or to push all that air outside instead of bringing it into the boat.
But
So that's-
also
that's
for
a
us,
good
it's like
benefit.
we don't have on the lower deck, don't have any openable windows because it's a proper Explorer yacht, so we
Correct.
opted not
We
to
don't have
have
any
that.
portholes,
So
yeah.
there is really no chance to open up any of the portholes and create this kind of a cross breeze down below. So this would be a chance for us to actually have proper.
Exterior air coming in. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks
Yeah.
for letting everybody figure that out. Okay, wait, this is your office.
Yes, ma'am.
You have an office too.
I do. Never in
Well,
it.
how do you have an office if you don't have a title?
I'm never in it, but
Don't the people with the title usually get an office?
I know.
How you have like the biggest one?
yeah.
You know what we should do?
What?
Should get him a little name tag sign for the table,
To say what?
president or something.
Just to piss him off.
Yeah, I got a better one on Dwayne's desk.
Yeah, you do?
You got one?
Yeah.
What do we have? I didn't see that.
I can't explain it for you, but I can understand it for you. That's great.
That's really. I like that one.
That's great. Okay.
I can tell you how it works, but I can't make you understand it.
Hello, everyone. Keep on working. Don't mind us.
This is our
What's happening here?
customer support.
So this is where we hopefully not going to be calling.
Yep. See how quiet it is in here? It's the quietest spot in
Yeah,
the
there's
whole
only
office.
two
Yeah.
people, so we
No, only
can't
two
do that.
people. It's the quietest spot in the whole office.
The phones are not.
Everything's taken care of.
The phones are not ringing off the hook, so
Kind of
that.
nice, huh?
Yeah,
you
that
won't
makes
see,
me
You won't
happy.
see that in many companies.
Yeah, I like that. All right, see you guys later. Okay, well that's a large space. What are all these flags?
These flags are represent all of the countries our fellow teammates hail from.
Argentina, Puerto
We've
Rico.
got Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, Haiti.
Oh, super cool.
We have a nice mixture here.
I
And
love that.
The great
Very
thing is
international.
very international, and we've got a really strong team. Maybe one or two people that have been here 5 years less. Everybody's, most of them are 20 plus year veterans in the marine air conditioning
Wow.
and refrigeration industry, which is
Wow.
really hard to find, especially in the United States.
Yeah,
We
I've been with this company for so long.
Yeah, and we pride ourselves on manufacturing everything here. We all spend time together. We all know each other's families, and we take pride in all of our work. It's all personal.
I
Very
love
cool.
that.
So what do we have here?
These
Yeah.
are some of our condensing units for refrigeration, mainly on sportfish boats for like cockpit refrigeration, mezzanine refrigeration, in-floor refrigeration, etc. So we make these that keeps them cool, as well as some of the galleys on the boats have custom stainless steel refrigeration drawers,
Yeah.
which these handle for us.
Got it.
120 and 230 volt and 404 and 134 refrigerants. We also make 12 volt units, as you'll see here, for the smaller center console boats.
These are really small, actually.
Yeah, so they'll chill at 10, 12 cubic foot box down to 20 degrees, and a center console with 12 volts, which
That's pretty
which
big
is pretty,
still. Yeah.
almost unheard of. But we've spent a lot of time tweaking them in engineering, and so it all functions really well. So here's more units here.
There are a lot of units here.
How long you owned this company?
Frigibar 5 years, Aqua Air 3 years.
3 years.
But
okay.
both companies are well-established companies. I was fortunate enough to be able to acquire them from Shuli and Dwayne, and they still work here in the company.
Would you say you're supplying for boats all around the world?
All around the world, but primarily United States.
United States. Okay.
The European boat builders tend to stick to European products.
Yeah.
Like the American boat builders tend to stick to American
This
products.
is why we're sticking to an American product. It makes it a lot easier for us. So it
As
makes sense.
a matter of fact, years ago, back when, the 70s and 80s and early 90s, all the Fed ships that were being built had Aqua Air products on because they're all American owners.
Yeah.
They wanted American product. And for a long time, it was all just Aqua Air equipment. And
Well,
the captains were American captains, and they were used to it, and they wanted to have support when they're back here in the United States.
And
Love
that's the
that.
same reason for us as well. Like our boat is fully US spec built, so not European spec. It's all US electric and so on. So we wanted to have the same thing, the local support, and
Yep.
wanted to have made in America as much as possible.
And we're, as much as we can be made in America. Everything's
Yeah.
there's
Love
a few
it.
things we have to buy out of the country or out of
Like
the United
components.
States, components, but we have no alternatives. But we just make sure we vet all the people we're buying from all suppliers really well, and buy the best quality product we can.
Love that. All right, where else are we going?
So it's the start of a 10-ton chiller unit. Angel here is working on. How many years have you been building these for, Angel?
Almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years he's been building.
28, 29.
You don't look like you would be building something for 30 years. Did you start when you were like 15?
He started when he was 16.
Because it started very early.
He's 75. He just looks very, very young.
It's all the cool air.
It's a cool air.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So Angel's made a lot of boaters very happy over the years.
I bet.
He's pretty much the master and one of the most revered people in this industry.
So that's you said 10-ton unit.
That's at the start of a 10-ton chiller unit.
So it's a little bigger than what we're gonna have, right?
Yes.
Got it.
A little bigger? How big are ours?
You have 6 tons.
That's a lot bigger. It's almost double.
Yeah,
What's our look like?
I'll show you over here.
Okay.
We have our test facility or our test bench. So we're
Feels nice.
writing some test data down right now on one of our self-contained units. There's some more self-contained units
So
in
do
line.
all of them get tested?
Everything gets tested before it leaves here.
So every single unit?
Yeah, for at least 2 hours.
Okay.
And then once we build the units, we actually take them, we will assemble a unit, leak check it, then we'll take it, put it submerge it underwater in our test tank with 300 pounds of nitrogen, 200 or 300 pounds depending on the unit, of nitrogen in it, check for micro leaks. Because you can get a small pinhole leak that's you can barely see, but over a year or two, you might start having issues. So we check for all those here at the factory before they're final assembled. Then every unit gets vacuumed down. We vacuum them for at least 24 hours to get all the moisture out of the system before we charge them. Then they're tested, balanced, and then they go through the final inspection phase. Eddie takes all the test data down, and we make sure everything's up to spec, and then gets cleaned up, shipped out to customers.
So do you guys also commission the systems actually on the yachts?
We do on some of the larger projects,
Yeah.
but typically we have a very strong dealer network and distributor network, and they handle that, locally wherever they're at.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, where do we go next?
So next is our fan coil area. It's where we produce all of our. Well, actually, these are some self-contained 16,000 BTU air handlers, similar to what you have on your vessel for cool the electronics and the engine room.
So for the people who are not completely knowledgeable or like experts in air conditioning, self-contained means they have their own compressor, right?
They have their own compressor. They've got, on each one of them, we have a titanium condenser built in. So you supply seawater to them. That takes the heat out of the boat, and the air conditioner obviously cools the air in the area. So unlike chill water, you're circulating chill water through the boat.
Yep.
And you have a fan coil without the compressor, which chill water runs through, and that takes heat out of the air. Here we have refrigerant going, similar to what you have in your house.
So then the chiller units, they get the seawater, but somewhere in the engine room or in technical
Correct.
space, and then just having the loop through the
Correct.
boat of the cold water.
Yeah, the best way to explain it is it's close to like a window unit in a house. Except the window unit in a house, you're exhausting the warm air outside the house through a condenser.
Yes.
Well, we don't have that option on boats, so we have water-cooled condensers. Ours are titanium, so seawater runs through these.
I
And
don't
that
think we've said that yet.
Okay.
Repeat the titanium
So
part.
all of our condensers and all of our products, and we're one of the only manufacturer I know of that does that, are titanium. So seawater is very corrosive,
Yeah.
and then with the new refrigerants and pressures they operate under, the old copper, the old copper and copper nickel condensers will wear out over
I
time.
know that word because Alexi uses it
Copper,
all the
nickel,
time.
ferrum?
Copper, nickel, ferrum, and then I always think he says pumpernickel, but it's copper,
Yeah,
nickel.
copper,
I know
nickel.
that.
Nickel,
yeah.
copper.
Cooper.
Cupro, C-U-P-R-O.
Oh,
Oh,
Cooper.
you were saying it wrong the whole
I
time
thought it's
too.
copper.
C-U-P-R-O.
Ah, we have some of this.
Some of the
piping.
piping
Yeah.
is
Well,
Cooper,
it's
nickel,
great for
ferrum.
piping, but here we're on air conditioning and chillers, we're circulating seawater through it almost 24/7.
Yeah.
So over time, with not only just the seawater being corrosive, if you're in a shallow area and there's brackish water, all the sand running through the system, cavitation from the pump, if the pump's oversized, slowly tends to wear out the condensers. Once the condensers wear out, seawater gets in the system, and you pretty much have to start over with a fresh, brand new
Yeah.
system. Titanium is resistant to salt water, and it's a lot harder, so we don't have the same impact with sand and pollutants going through it.
But
as
it's
you
more
would with it.
expensive, right?
It's more expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd rather have a unit that lasts longer and have a good reputation and have.
Yeah.
So
This
that's
is the
also-
way you build.
That's the way we build it.
And I thought you guys were just using it because it sounds cooler.
Nope.
Titanium, I mean,
Right.
come on.
These are all self-contained units. Here's some more condenser coils. These are for 3 and 5 ton chiller units.
Really nice and shiny. Wait, do you paint this
We
in-house
paint
too?
them all here. We have a spray booth over around the corner here.
Wow.
Everything gets well. First, they're all brazed, assembled, and then we leak check them, and they get sanded, prepped, primed, and then all gripped. We only use all grip because it's a very high-end paint that resists the discoloration from heat, and it's resistant to lacquer-thinner and other chemicals. That's what we use on all of our. So it's painted, then it gets assembled onto the compressor, and it gets painted more afterwards. But we paint them like this, and we can get all the nooks and crannies before they're assembled. So once they're assembled, they're tight. It's tough. This isn't a chiller, but they're
Yeah.
tight to get
Yeah.
access to.
I'm just impressed that you do all of this in-house. That's really fascinating.
Here's Franz. He's the master of
Hello, master of
insulation.
insulation.
Insulation. That's cool.
This is Franz's department.
Perfect. Nice to meet you.
Over here we have the start of some chill water air handlers. So basically,
They're so small.
chill water runs in here, goes through the system, out here as warm water.
Yeah, so it's
water
just a heat
starts at the
exchanger,
bottom.
huh?
Yep, basically. The water starts in the bottom, works its way through all these coils. A fan blows air through it, and that air is chilled by this water going through those coils, just like your home air conditioner.
So pretty straightforward, actually.
It's a simple system.
Yeah, very simple.
There's a few things you have to remember, you have to do. I mean, you have to make sure there's glycol in the system, which is antifreeze, because you don't want anything freezing up in the lines.
Yeah.
And the glycol, is really important. So there's Kevin assembling some more.
Hello.
Doing final assembly on a 6,000 BTU.
So that's what we're gonna have.
You have a few of those. You got some 12s and some 16s, and I think a couple 24s.
Oh,
So you
okay.
have a little bit of everything.
That doesn't look very big.
Well,
For
that's
a
one of the
small
smaller
cabin.
ones.
Yeah.
Very compact.
But
Got
like
it.
for a cabin, it probably moves still. Plenty air.
I want to hear how loud or quiet these are.
They're
There's-
running right now. I can't even hear them.
No, they're not.
Go with it. Go with it.
Yeah, I was like, no, they're
I'm not that blonde.
they're running right now.
How do you know so much about this industry?
I was pretty much born and raised here in Fort Lauderdale. I was a yacht designer for a while. And worked in boat yards. And I spent my whole life around boats. So I've always known of these two companies. Frigibar, Sheldon Lutsky, the gentleman who owned it, we were customers of his for years. And Dwayne Knoll and the JD Knoll, the Knoll family,
Yeah.
was revered as the top marine air conditioning group in the world. Both companies fell in some hard times, and I was blessed enough to have an opportunity to purchase these companies. Kind of taking a look from the outside looking in and saying, how can we improve upon these things? How can we make them better? What as a boater have I done over through the years? What have my problems been? you know, what
Bringing your
what-
experience into
what,
it.
What weak parts have these units had, and how can we make that better? So with titanium, with a lot of stuff we've done, we just improved upon one of the best products in the world and made it, you know, even better. That's why we're able to offer, you know, with Aqua Air chill water units, we have a 7-year warranty.
7-year warranty. Chew on that for a second. That's kind of unheard of.
Yep.
What's the general
Well, we
thing
have
in industry? What do people
2
normally
years.
offer? 2 years.
2 years. So
2
we're
years.
7 years.
So we're 2 years parts and labor, and then 3 to 7 is parts only. We stand behind our products. We're confident in them. So
Is it because of titanium?
it's titanium, the way we assemble it, you know, all of our products are stainless steel or titanium. We use the best components we can possibly find. If there's a better component out there, we're all for using it. So we just try to make sure everything is like what my family wanted to use on their boats, because nobody wants to be on vacation and have something
things
go
break.
down or an issue with equipment over something silly. And that's typically what happens on boats. Even if the boat's on a charter,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars that people are losing because of you know, a 10-cent part.
Because the boat is going to be in the charter, because we have so many staterooms, and for the size of our boat, because of where it's going to live. I mean, AC was like a huge thing for us. We've been on so many boats with so many different experiences that we just knew like this has to be done right. There's a few important components on, you know, living on a yacht: air conditioning, water maker,
Refrigeration.
what else? Pumps, refrigeration.
Yeah, refrigeration.
This stuff always breaks. I mean, something will breaks that we just used to. So sourcing like the best possible ones was a big thing for us. That's how we came across you.
Well, you wouldn't give 7 years warranty if you would have issues after 3 years on every single unit.
No, we are very confident in our products.
You saw that customer service. It was like
Our customer
Silent.
service is the
they
quietest
were
part
not
of our
even
house.
on the phone.
We should have some cricket sounds in there.
I know,
like-
right?
This is one of our Frigibar units, and it's basically Frigibar was one of the
It
first
doesn't
companies.
feel cold.
No, it's not on the outside. But Frigibar is one of the first or is the first company to ever build fiberglass refrigerators and meant to be outside in the elements. And Frigibar started in 1971.
So they started this. They started this whole trend.
Oh, would you look at the time to please the YouTube algorithm gods? You guys know we have to take it into a part 2. So I'll see you next week.